And I'm Patrick Hall from Lakes Region Community College. This is Nikki, chef of T-Bones and Cactus Jacks. We're here today with some of our students to see how we're going to make one of their signature dishes here today.
Yes, today we're going to make what we call a seafood gumbo, and we feature fresh local ingredients, homemade soups and sauces, and I'm going to put these guys to the test today. Okay, we're going to get ready to start. Matt is going to demonstrate the first step in making what we call seafood stew. It's a major part of our seafood gumbo dish. We start with red bell peppers, fresh white onion, and fresh celery. He's going to chop it about 1/4 of an inch each piece, and Matt can explain the importance of making sure why everything needs to be cut uniformly.
Well, they do that just because, it's a fact that when you're cooking something, everything should be the same size for uniformity purposes, and then it'll all cook evenly and you'll get the same product all the time, as long as you cut uniformly. So, as you can see, we're going to make little inch cuts on the celery stalk. Set that aside. Take our red bell pepper. Bang out the seeds. With a gumbo, and particularly any soup that you do, the reason why we cut small pieces and the reason why we cut small dice is because of the fact that everything should fit on the spoon, everything should be cooked evenly when you're making this stew. So if you had big hunks of onion, big hunks of potato, it would be very difficult to eat. So that's that.
So now we're going to be sauteing all these vegetables up. We need to get the butter all nice and hot, so put it all in there. So there we go. We saute it to get all the flavors coming out of there. Just keep it moving around right in the butter. We're just going to saute these up for about 5 or 6 minutes until they're nice and tender. It's going to cook inside the sauce as well, so it's going to be all good. Next we got the Cactus Jacks and T-Bone special seasoning in here. We're just going to put that right in here. Get that all going. Make sure it's all mixed in there. Flavors just gonna cook right into the onions, celery, and all that, so you won't have to worry about tasting celery. It just tastes good, I'm gonna let this go for about 3 to 4 minutes. We put all the spices in there now, so all the spices want to get clumped up instead of in the liquid. It just goes right onto the food. Some of the spices we got in there is thyme, cayenne, oregano. Can't really give them all away because you don't want to give away the special recipe. So.
A lot of times when you're cooking a lot of these spices, we add dry spices to our vegetables. It releases a lot of oils and a lot of aromatic flavors inside your vegetables as well. So that's why we would put them in now rather than afterwards. In culinary and in cooking, a lot of times what you call this basic vegetable mixture. In culinary, it's called a mirepoix, which is basically onions, celery, and carrots. And a lot of times, a lot of Cajun and Creole cooking, they use what's called a trinity, okay, which is usually peppers, onions, and celery. So it's a little different, but everybody has their own mirepoix, and everybody else has their own way of doing things. So this is pretty much, I'm assuming, would be Cactus Jack's trinity. Alright, so the next step after we get all these vegetables sauteed up, all those oils released, we get all those spices to give off some of that great flavor. We also add a little bit of heat to it, Tabasco sauce. And that adds a little bit of acidity. But also, Tabasco. A lot of people think that Tabasco is going to be a lot more strong and pungent and more spicy than it is. But it actually just gives it a nice little flavor to it. Gives it a nice little kick, and doesn't overpower your meat. I saute this up so it's nice and translucent. Then we're going to move on, and we're actually going to do our roux. We're going to simmer this in a tomato sauce, one of our tomato-based sauce. Actually, I believe what we're going to be using is a sauce that's prepared typically by Cactus Jack's and T-Bones to actually simmer in that. It's going to be that rich, nice and spicy sauce that's going to go right in there.
This is a tomato sauce, which is going to be obviously all the tomato flavoring in our soup, which is going to be an awesome component in our seafood gumbo. It thickens the product a little bit, and it gives it a nice earthy flavor, which is very common for a Louisiana-style food.
Alright, so we get our tomato sauce in here, nice and thick. We have our onions, celery, and peppers going with our nice spices. We added the Tabasco sauce in. Alright, so now we're just going to add a little bit of our tomato product to it. Okay. Right there, as we add that liquid in, most of the liquid that you add to a pan, you're also going to have some of this caramelization that happens naturally from the sugars that are inside some onions, peppers, and all your vegetables that you're using. So once you add that, not only are you adding it to your dish, you're also adding it to add flavors, and it's going to deglaze the bottom of the pan. So we're going to get that nice and mixed up. And we're going to simmer this, okay? And once you simmer this, it's going to bring it up to temperature. We're going to make it nice and not hot. It's also going to release more flavors and incorporate all those flavors inside the dish. Alright, so you guys want to go ahead and do a roux? Alright. What we have right over here is we have some, what Nikki has is some butter and some flour. Two main components of a roux. What a roux does is a thickening agent. A lot of different thickening agents out there. We have cornstarch, you have flour, there's arrowroot, even such things as blood can be a thickener, and also other different starches. Okay, but you have to cut this with a little bit of butter or fat in order to use it. Sometimes the thickening agent itself is the flour.